Alright. Let's see here. Let's see. There we go. Definitely needs a hat. I'm watching myself. Yeah, audio's fine. Alright. Well, when you guys start coming in, just start typing and let me know you're here. We'll get going in a few minutes. I'm a little bit early. Weird, right? Pretty looking card, isn't it? Pretty, pretty, pretty bird. Pretty, pretty, pretty bird. Pretty, pretty, pretty bird. Pretty bird, pretty bird, pretty bird. So here's a question for you future people that are going to be watching this. Put it down in the comments if you do watch this live stream replay. What do you come to the channel for? Do you come to the channel just to watch me do stuff with computer equipment? Do you come to the channel to engage with me in a way of firearms? Wow, that wasn't English at all. And you're kind of filthy there, so hang on. I'm gonna clean you real quick. Yeah, there we go. How'd that feel? Yeah. It's like somebody in the dark. Need a haircut. Need a haircut. But anyways, let me know what you come to the channel for. I know that was kind of a stupid way of saying it, but I was thinking 7 things at once. And it was driving me nuts. Not unlike a pirate with a steering wheel in his pants. What? Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. No links, by the way. That was kind of funny to see how many people were just trying to spam the comments with links to bad websites. You get auto spammed. Still got a minute to go. I'll explain what we're doing as soon as it gets going. But yeah, as you can kind of tell from this here, sorry, last time the camera was on this side, this time it's on this side, so it's just, I may look there on accident, so just letting whoever's listening know. But yeah, this whole big stack here, if you saw the post, you'll know what we're doing. But this isn't being tested, this is actually just showing what I did. So we'll talk about that when somebody comes in. How's the weather in your area, wherever you guys are, whenever you're watching this? It's weird to just be talking to nothing. I know I'm not talking to anybody, but except for you, future Joe, because you know you're going to watch this. You ever get itchy when you film? I get itchy when I film. We'll give it a couple of minutes for more people to come in. If I watch it long enough or close enough, I can probably see my replay in my replay, and then that replay will replay the replay that I replayed. Funny. I think I got everything set up. Oh, no, I need to hook something up. Set that there for now. Who wants to guess how many times that thing fell over while I was doing this? There we go. Just need the one. Let it go. Hello there, new watcher. How's our trial of communism going? Well, the things that Northam wanted enacted, or that at least passed, he signed into law now. So, one gun per month if you don't have a concealed carry, universal background checks, which quite frankly I'm fine on, red flag laws, which I'm not fine on, because that means that if anybody, well, any law enforcement official thinks that you're a danger to yourself or others, they can take your firearms away, which in its own way will lead them to have the power to get you committed, which could then in turn disqualify you from having firearms. So yeah, the war isn't going as well as we want. However, there is a time for the appeals to be put through, so we're waiting for those to go through. As of right now, doubt many of those are going to get overturned because they aren't nearly as invasive as what he tried to do. So we'll see. Plus bump stocks, that went into effect, what, a year ago. They finally failed their last appeal, so it'll be about a year before we know exactly what's going on. So I nerded him out. Okay, a couple more minutes. What am I currently doing? Well, as you can see, I got a big stack of graphics cards here. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be testing most of them because I've done cleaning and thermal compound stuff to them. So yeah, it's late and I was bored. I was like, hey, might as well do it and then answer some questions while I'm doing it. So yeah, if you weren't here for the last stream, this is a card that I modified. I actually took airflow fans, which are made for cooling a computer, and put them on a graphics card to make it work, because these fans don't work. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. It's something you can do if you're a nerd. It'll save you a lot of money. And I didn't think of it right away, and I should have, because I've done it before. You can take CPU, cooling fan, or case fans, and zip tie them to your graphics cards instead of buying expensive water blocks and stuff, because I was going to water cool this, but I decided not to. So yeah, could have been expensive, but in the end it's not, because this thing has two different fan controllers. It doesn't work 100% right. So yeah, cooling fans, some zip ties, and you're good to go. But like the post said, I'm going to be testing some graphics cards, so I got a stack of them here. I'm going to start from the oldest one, which is a 660 Ti. I think it's a 660 Ti. I'm going to start there. I have a second monitor that you can't see set up, and then I'm just going to be testing stuff while you guys ask me some questions. So, you got questions, let me know. That's a precarious pile of graphics cards. So, yeah, okay, let's see what happens. Helps the fans the right way. Helps that the fan wire is not twisted. Cheap fans, man, they don't work very well. I mean, they work fine, but the little things don't work. My favorite handgun caliber is .45 ACP. My first gun was a 1911. It was a 9mm, but I wanted a .45 ACP. But being new to shooting, I didn't think I should have a .45 for my first gun. But yeah, I've bought a lot of .45 cal stuff. I've had a lot of 1911s, all different brands. I haven't had like the $2,000-3,000 ones yet, but 1911s. How about you? What's your favorite? Hey, it booted. No keyboard. It's got a keyboard. my keyboard dead? This cannot be. Well, I guess it can be. Do I not have NVIDIA drivers on here? I should. I do, but not. There we go. 3 watchers. I'm popular. Oh, 2 watchers. .40 is very underrated. I do agree that 45 ACP is my favorite. 40 cal is very underrated, and you can get really good deals on some firearms if you go with the 40 cal. So I do agree that 40 cal is a good round. Hey, that worked. If you're new on the stream, this is a 660 Ti, and I'm just testing a bunch of different graphics cards. Although I don't know if I can do 3D Mark offline, and I don't have this one hooked up. Excuse me. That's true. If you don't know, I helped my buddy down at his gun store, and it was one of the last calibers to run away. Will it start in offline mode? Don't want to install it, I want to use it. Dang it. I don't think I got fur mark on this one. I believe 360, 357 SIG to 9 caliber. And I could be wrong though. 357 SIG is a difficult caliber to sell because Hot 9 ballistically can keep up with 357 SIG and it's more readily available. 357 SIG is one of those things where it's kind of experiencing what 40 cal did a year ago, because 40 cal was almost gone a year ago. 10 mil was almost gone when 40 cal got popular. Now they're both on the way back, so 357 is kind of a little bit slower. But we had a lot of guys that still carried 6 hours chambered in 357 SIGs, and my buddy carries a Glock in 357 SIG. It's not installed on this drive. That's because it's on the hard drive. Damn it. So what do we use? What do we use? Well, I guess that doesn't really matter, so. Internet stick. Use my other network adapter, see if it's got a... Yeah, this is a fun stream. I have to sit here and re-enable things. This is what happens when you goof with tech. It takes a lot of time. Leave me some messages while I'm waiting for this to come back up. Oh, shoot. Missed it. Hold on. Yeah, damn it. I'm coming. This thing would ever connect to the internet. Shoot. What did I just do? Hello. We'll do it this way. Yeah. Oh, now it comes back. Damn it. Sorry, guys. I'm catching up. Sorry. Have I had any experience with Beretta handguns? If so, which models? Yes, I have had the no. Sorry, I'm a liar. I did not have a Beretta. I had a Taurus PT92, which was an 81, so technically it was a Beretta. It was built on Beretta tooling. But if you want to be pedantic, no, it was not a real Beretta. I'm professional. 3 gigabytes? What the? Alright, hurry up. Yeah, that's going great. Here, let's do it using this card. What's your favorite handgun in the world? 1911, for sure. 1911. Just flat out 1911. One of the simplest guns to work on. One of the best triggers, period, in the world. You could talk to competitive shooters, the Glock shooters. They'll tell you a Glock is a good, decent trigger when it's worked on. A 1911 out of the box, if it's a halfway decent gun, is an amazing trigger. Wow, that is so slow when it's not getting a good internet connection. Yep, trying to dual wield my Wi-Fi card here. I don't care what's new. Close, you bunghole. Yeah, my other monitor is so small that it's comically small, and this keyboard doesn't work. That's okay. That one doesn't work. I got a whole box of them. No, literally, I got a whole box. It's not just the makes that matter, because some Kimbers have a problem with hollow points. What you need to do when you look at a 1911 is you need one that has a ramped barrel. A lot of them, the Tauruses, the TSOS, which is also sold under the Zig SDS line, and a couple other brands, they only use a truncated barrel. It's a flat barrel that's kind of, they mill it a little bit so it looks like it's ramped. But if the barrel doesn't have a ramp that meets the feed lip of the frame, hollow points can jam in there. Unless, I've heard Syntec can help reduce that. Rubber, you know, the ones with the red tips on them, because they fill in the void that the hollow point has so they don't grab on the feed ramp. So you need a gun that has a ramped barrel. Rock Island has ramped barrels. I know they're a cheaper brand, but I had immense luck with them. Remington R1 line, they have ramped barrels. Most of the Kimber does. The Desert Eagle definitely does. And there's a couple others. I think, yeah, Ruger does. And all those will feed hollow points usually with no problems. Yeah, I don't care if you're available for streaming, just in stereo. Bing bong, da ding dong. An error occurred. Trying to think which of my computers I can steal the hard drive out of real quick. Yep, I know what I gotta do. Prepare for dead air for just a few seconds here, guys, because I gotta go grab a computer. I'm still here, Margie. I'm still here. It's not dead air. I'm coming back. I promise. I promise to you. I'm here. I'm here. Still here. Wow, that delay is huge. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. This other computer is so far behind, it's playing on like a 6-minute delay. It's hilarious. All right, so I gotta pull the drive out of this thing. It's a Dell, a friend of mine. One pouch. Oh, me and none of my friends, we don't do any of that. All right, here we go. Connect to that, you bastard. There we go. Sorry. So professional on this stream, I tell you what, for both of you. Good Lord, refresh, catch up, man. There we go. So yeah, this is an old ass one. Ugh, what kind of music am I into? Pretty much everything. But yeah, country, rap, hip hop, rock, metal, indie, classic, you name it. I pretty much grew up on it, so I like just about everything. Screwdriver, 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 screwdriver. The best part about putting a computer together the wrong way is it's very easy to take back apart. Except for when it's not. Please come out. Ha ha. Ho 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 ho. Drive. I'll be doing a video on this because it's actually got an upgraded motherboard, CPU, graphics card, everything's upgraded. It's pretty cool, but now's not the time for that. Now's the time to grab one of these. Sons of Texas, can't say that I've really heard their stuff. If it's something that comes on the radio, I'll listen to it, but I listen to a lot of the older stuff, Metallica, System of a Down. I like System of a Down. Disturbed, a few other guys. That's safe, right? Okay. I'll check them out sometime. Ugh, very productive live stream so far. Haven't even gotten one thing tested. There we go. Now let's see if this one works. Unless I fried something on the board. Hello, computer. There we go. Hey, alright. Hey, we covered BIOS, so let's see what happens. My story is if I... Why is it telling me to do that? Alright, fine. Well, exactly, Connor. That's exactly what it is. The more you do something, the more you get into it. And the more you like something, the more you're going to get into it. I wasn't this into computers, you know, hardline tubing and all this stuff until probably 4 years ago. And then I really got into it because I could see the potential in some of this stuff. So that's when I decided to step up my game when it came to computers. Welcome to Live Chat. Oh, it's giving me my own warning. There we go. Now the question is, will it run in offline mode? want to use the internet. Dang internet. Where are you from? Are you from Sweden? There we go. It is working. Yay! I was worried it wouldn't because I got a lot of stuff to test. And I'm out of USB Wi-Fi adapters. Kansas. I'm an Army brat. I grew up all over the world, but I guess you could say I was made in Texas, but I was produced in Korea. And I'm half Korean, so. Let's see. Ready for some fans. Let's see what happens. Run that, yeah, filthy animal. Itchy day. Don't know what that's about. Very itchy day. Did you hear about my channel? Have you watched stuff before? Are you subbed? Was it your mom or dad that was in the Army? My father. He's a retired first sergeant, U.S. Army. Well, that's not going to give me the answers I want. Retired first sergeant, U.S. Army. What the hell are we doing there? We need to change those settings real quick. If I can't see what it's doing, then it doesn't matter, does it? 20 years in? Almost 30, actually, but he took a retirement or a early out in the 90s and went back in. And my phone just beeped at me, so hang on one second. Hey, all right. It's funny, I just got the notification that my video that I just put up on the CZ Shadow was suitable for all viewers, even though it was already listed as such. I personally wasn't in, so I don't know what MOS stands for. I'm not going to lie and say I do. He did a couple of different things. He was a recruiter for a little while, but he also was in air defense, and he served in Afghanistan for a while. My health precluded me from being able to join, otherwise I would have. But thank you for your service, sir. Now's the boring part while we wait for stuff to... Come on. You know what? The fact that you signed up, that you were willing to commit yourself to do it, means a lot. Uh, People may give people crap for joining the military, going, "What are you doing? It's blah blah blah." No, you're doing something very, very respectable. So even if you didn't get deployed, you still wanted to serve your country, which is admirable. So yeah, unless you've been dishonorably discharged because you did something really bad, but it doesn't sound like you were. All right, candidate number one works. Well, at least it works so far. We'll see what happens. I know it's not as exciting as watching me build an entire computer in an hour, but I guess we can talk about what the next one is. Let's see here. How about these guys? Next will be some 690s. And if you guys don't know these, if you're not computer nerds, they have two graphics processors on them, two cores. So basically these are SLI on a single board. So in one of my computers, I'll run them together for testing just because it's fun. But what I'm doing this time is I replaced all the thermal compound on all these cards, and I didn't run them very long, so I'm running them to make sure that they all work. Plus, like I said, I was bored and wanted to do a live stream and see if anybody came and hung out. Random Roku is random. Ah, yeah, bad feet. I was flat-footed. I've had a couple amputations, but I was flat-footed in the mid '90s. I turned 18 in 1997, so they really didn't need me back then. So I wasn't able to join. They were drawing everybody down at that point. They were giving huge, here's 15, 20, $25,000 based on your time in service to get out. So I wasn't able to join. And tinnitus sucks. My father has that really badly, but I also have it a little bit in this year. I can hear, you know exactly what it is because you have it, but it's annoying because if I leave a monitor on when the computer's off, I can hear the LED bulb, and it makes me get up to have to turn it off. What are you doing to me? That sucks. Yeah, that sucks. But to be honest, it probably would have come out sooner in the Marines. They're a little bit more, nothing against the Army, but the Marines push you a little bit harder from what I've seen, and they probably would have found your foot problem sooner. Sorry. Huh. Did not know that. One day in the Navy, huh? Alright, I'm convinced this one works. a little later than I expected. Why did I just start saying that? Doesn't make any sense. I knew I was starting at midnight. How's my processing going? Right now it's slow. It's really friggin' boring. That's why I decided to live stream while I was doing it. Just in case anybody wanted to keep me company while I'm doing boring stuff. Because I spend a lot of time looking for deals on stuff, and when I find them, I usually get them really cheap, but they're typically neglected, is the only way I can think of to put it. And I usually have to do a lot of maintenance right away. But I put all these together, and I never tested them the right way. I just threw them together and said, they seem to work. And if I decide to sell them, I need to test them more. Okay. Number 2. Hey, the light lights up. That's like half the battle. Yeah, first card is a good one. It's funny they don't actually write 660 on it, except for right there. Move. That's not what you think it was. And it's Evil Twin. Anytime you want to start up. Anytime, Mr. Computer. There we go. Jeez. Why should anything go schmoove? Meth. No. Luckily, I never had the taste for druggists. Help if I use the right mouse. Oh, this should automatically load these drivers, which are not on this drive. How is that even possible that they're not on the drive? Haha, there it is. Haha, there it isn't. Oh, it's in the downloads, isn't it? Damn it. Besides, I would never leave my crack pipes out, or my meth pipes, or my nothing pipes. Come on, computer. See, when you buy this stuff online, these guys should be testing stuff like this before you buy it, and half the ads will say, tested good. I've had to send back dozens of cards because, you know, they lie. They lie like rugs. Cheap rugs. Somebody else is watching. They ain't typing. Come on, guy. Whoever you are, say something. Say something. I know you're out there. Oh yeah, I should probably see what this thing's running at. Which do I prefer, used guns or new? Honestly, I don't really have a preference. I'd rather have the deal. Used guns are perfectly fine. What's up, Luke? Used guns tend to give you a better deal, and as long as they've been taken, it's just like this stuff. As long as it's been taken care of, it could be just as good as new. If it hasn't been taken care of, then you got problems. Loop again. What's going on, man? And for some people, it's the only way you can afford to get some stuff. Plus, some stuff isn't manufactured anymore, like traditional, like Garands and stuff like that. You can't get those anymore. Okay. Yeah, Taurus can be. I'll show you something though. I can't show it on a stream. I'll make it into the video. Can't show firearms on a stream. Not since that idiot decided to shoot his monitor. But I did hit a knockoff Beretta with 3 rounds out of my 30-30. It exploded. Sorry if it gets a little bit louder. The cooling fan on this card has to ramp up because you're cooling off 2 GPUs at the same time with 1 fan. Come on, Cletus. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Turn you just a little bit more. I have shot PPU. I've used a little bit of everything. I've used PPU, I've used Blazer, I've used Fiocchi, really good Federal, HST Champion stuff. Kind of. Taurus revolvers, the polymer judge had a problem with the frames cracking. Some of the guns had a problem with head spacing, which means that the cylinder doesn't lock up in the right position to fire right, and it can damage the gun. But every company has had problems. Early Gen 1 and Gen 2 Glocks had a problem with their springs because the recoil springs, because the guide rods were fully plastic. Same problem with their strikers. The springs would wear out too quickly, or the strikers would break after like 5,000 rounds. Colt has gone out of business multiple times, or almost declared bankruptcy. They did declare bankruptcy, I think, in 2011 and back in the 90s, so it's hit and miss. Spit brass like crazy, I bet. If you're referring to me, I actually, when I go shooting, believe it or not, I like to test with steel cased or aluminum cased ammo. Because if a gun can feed that crap, it usually can feed most anything else. I'll only run brass if the gun was running good before I started using the aluminum case stuff, just to see if it's a problem with the ammunition or the gun. Bebe's running hot. Put some fan on that. There we go. When in doubt, point a fan at it. No, it's not. You mean CCI? What's CCA? Is CCA a different brand? PPU is a decent ammunition, and it's a reasonable price. The loadings can be a little bit varied. I know that some chronograph guys can say that some of them can vary by 15 to 30%, which is a little bit outside of normal, but if you're just looking for range ammo, PPU is good stuff. For self-defense, I don't carry regular ammunition. I usually carry either Double Tap, which is a custom brand, and they make very high pressure rounds, or I'll use something like a Hornady. Sorry, my brain keeps on stopping today. Not 100% sure. Chrome lined helps a little bit, but it's not as important on some guns as it is on others. Because 9mm is honestly a very sloppy cartridge, because you can have 1 or 2 millimeter differences just in a 9mm case, not millimeter thousandths, you know, and the ammo can still run. So yeah, it could affect accuracy eventually. Yeah, exactly. I've never seen anybody doing it either, and the number of rounds you'd probably have to put through it. I'm sure you would notice degradation of the barrel before it got to the point where it was really bad. I would probably say that you'll notice it a lot sooner. And most of the companies, Taurus reinitiated their lifetime warranty. So if you wanted to, like with your, you said you had what, the 96, but yours is a Beretta. If you had the Taurus version, it would be a lifetime guarantee. Beretta puts, I think, a 1 or 2 year warranty on theirs. So, you know, if you need to, go out and buy a 5,000 round box and put it through it and see what happens. Notepad. Actually, I think I could turn this. Pay no attention to the massive noise. That works fine. Loop man. Dude. I can't really comment on stuff like that, man, but, you know, you shouldn't be buying guns off the street at 17, or people shouldn't be selling them to you at 17, brother. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the 96A1 myself. I know that whenever we got their standard, like the 9mm uh, M9A3s, and we had a couple of those LTT ones or LTX ones. They were pretty nice, and they had fully chrome barrels with the feed ramp. All right, that worked. Frames cracking in the older 96s. Yeah, is the 96A1 a composite or alloy frame, aluminum? I guess they would have to beef it up probably somewhere on in the dust cover area, right, where the lockup happens. That's hot. 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 Stupid friggin' internet. Computer's trying to switch different internet connections on me. And I don't remember which one is which. Disable you. Aha. We have done it. We will be kings. Possibly. My phone says it's still working. Or not. Come on. Come on. Piece of junk. Sorry, if you're leaving comments, I can't respond real quick, or I can't read them. Because my phone's too small. It says it's connected and fine. What are you doing to me? I hate you. There we go. Alright, dropped out. So disconnect, reconnect. Sorry. Guess I can keep setting this one up. Alright, let's see what happens here. Hey, yeah, there it goes. Finally. Gotcha. Welcome back to the chat. Yeah, the aluminum frame stuff or the alloy frame stuff can have some problems. Especially if you put hotter rounds through it. It's not just lighter, smaller caliber stuff either. My buddy's Delta Elite blew out the magwell, or blew a magazine out of it and broke his grips. Hammer spraying, they did that for library. It's not as bad as no. You know, it's like with a lot of things. Some people have bad luck with them. Some people don't. It's luck of the draw. You know, I bought brand new computer parts that didn't work. I've had a couple of guns that come in and just don't cycle for nothing. It's just, it's hit and miss when it comes to stuff. Anything that's manufactured can have a defect. So. Just look at humans. Freaking internet, man. When I power this system on or off, it's interfering with that Wi-Fi. How is that even possible? Work, you bastard. The internet in my area, I think, is out or not working correctly, so. Softest primers. Well, I know Federal makes good ammunition. I'm not too familiar with the differences in their primers, but yeah, that could be a lot to do with it. Consistent. You know, if you get one round that's packed way hotter than the other, especially from just a general manufacturer, you can cause some problems. That's what happened with my buddy. He was trying to run was it Hornades? The one that's the extreme penetrator round. He was trying to fire off a couple of those and it just shattered the grip on his gun. Underwood ammo. That's what it was. It's like a plus P plus. Most boringest live stream ever, they said. Came to be entertained and fell asleep. Said Susan from St. Louis. He was just running tests and itching his back all night, said John from Delaware. Oof. Rifle primer. That would be a hell of a thing. That would be a little bit more bang for the buck. Trying to get my hands on that $300 version of the Glock made by, who was that? Palmetto. Palmetto supposedly has them. My buddy ordered them, but he hasn't gotten his hand on them one yet. So as soon as he gets his hand on one of those, I'm going to check it out. The problem I'm running into is I'm in Virginia right now, and my gun range is in West Virginia, and they have a stay-at-home, and the gun range is closed down except for law enforcement officers or military officers. And since I'm neither, I'm not allowed to go use that range. And my buddy has a friend that lets him shoot, but I'm not going to impose on him. So that's why there has been no at the range videos, because there just hasn't been the ability to go. Yeah, I can understand that. Firing a gun into the sky is extremely dangerous, but yeah, also 357's got a wicked pop. I've fired a couple without my ear protection in. When I'm at the range and I'm filming and stuff, sometimes I'll take out my earplug and then I'll forget to put it back in. And then the first shot, because I'm left eye dominant, I hold up here, so left ear is usually the one I unplug. And yeah, I fully agree. 30-30 going off next to your head isn't that pleasant either if you forget your hearing protection. Or a 308. I think we need to what do you mean unhidden? I didn't unhide him. There. Sorry, I had to get that guy off the stream. He's messaged a couple of times, and he's gotten pretty dark, so I've had to take him off. You know what's really loud that you wouldn't expect? 22 TCM. My first 1911, my first gun was a 9mm/22 TCM, and was not expecting to pop out of a 22 TCM. I know that people call it a 223 short, but it's a very loud round. Stop crashing. Didn't even notice. Well, it's not in this stream. The stream I did a couple of days ago, near the end of it, he unfortunately was getting pretty dark. So when he just started right away on this one, it was kind of done. He had to go. What is wrong with my connection? It's on the wrong one. That's why. Jeez Louise, man. Jeez Louise. Should work better this time. Assuming it stays connected. So far. Yay! I'm gonna like my own stream. Beep. And 22 TCM is a dirty round too. If you've never fired it, because it's basically a 223 short, it's got a lot more powder in it than it should because 22 TCM is traveling at almost 2,000 feet per second. It's going as fast as an FN57 round. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to work at my buddy's store, so if a new round has been getting plugged, I haven't heard about it. But it could be 45. Like you said, 45 is my favorite, so there's a couple of 45s that I still need to pick up. I want a Chris Vector in 45. If I can get one of those, that would be nice. My problem is outside of my old stuff, my Winchester 3030 and my Winchester 22, it's in model 1875 target or sport rifle. I don't keep my guns because most of the guns I shoot aren't valuable, so I don't have a reason to keep them. In fact, I sold the AR pistol I just built because it didn't have the right parts on it, and I'm building a second lower that I have with the right parts. Hello, new viewer. I see you down there. Type something. Makes me feel weird to just be sitting here looking at my computer screen. Computer screen. Multiple screens. I want to show you. Still waiting for my parts for that stupid thing. That's going to be a nice workstation. But the parts are stuck in transit thanks to the whole funny business that's going on. It's going to be a badass workstation with tons of RAM and awesome hardware. Maybe. Oh, computer. Yes, this is basically what I do on a Friday night because, you know, I'm cool. Yay, another one works. Jesus Christ. That is just a thing to say there, isn't it? Let's see. Kansas, it's like midnight there. How many people are in the room right now? If there's more people there, hi more people. I'm a boring idiot on the internet who didn't want to be alone. Just wanted to see my reaction. Well, I've grown up with a lot of people that would do that just because they thought it was funny, so. Next one, GTX 760. Is it a TI? No, it's not. It's just a 760. Just wanted to see my... No. If I wanted to see a reaction, I'd show you the bottom of my foot. Okay, team effort. There it is. Three out of 3. I fixed and they still worked. I'm doing good. What do you do these days? Ah. If you saw the stuff I cut out of the videos I put on this channel, you'd be like, wow, that 41-year-old dude is younger than me. Start. Start. Woo! I touched it and it worked. I healed it. It's the power of Joe. Man, I need to buy more fitted hats. Hello, Moto. Please install the drivers. These are all NVIDIA. Thank you. 66 minutes. What are the best brand parts to get in your opinion? I've had a lot of luck with Asus, their ROG line. They're like everywhere. I've also had good luck with MSI products. Believe it or not, I've had a few issues with their customer service, but their products have been pretty decent. Right now, what's in this big computer back here is an ASRock, which is actually a company that's owned by Asus. That's why their logos look so similar, but they're operated as separate brands. That's been a pretty good brand. Three of my computers are actually ASRocks. I prefer Intel for overclocking purposes, as well as the fact that I'm more familiar with the Intel side. However, you cannot deny that AMD has really good parts on processors and their motherboards. My VR rig is a 2600X that I got for 99 bucks, and they routinely sell for like 120 bucks, and it's as fast as that $400 processor that's in that computer. DDR4 RAM for a new computer, you can use basically anybody's. It's all the same unless you use like a no-name brand from Amazon. Don't do that. Graphics cards, I prefer EVGA. I think they are the most stable, except for when they're not, and then they're the worst. It's kind of a weird thing to say, but the ROGs are a close second. As you can see from that computer, it's all custom water cooling. That's custom water cooling, hardline tubing, pump, res, 2 radiators, all that stuff. I usually water cool everything. My VR rig is not water cooled, and I can't stand how loud it is. This I can barely hear. This is loud. So ROG if you want to stay with one brand, ROG, MSI if you're going to mix. Don't know why I'm still holding this screwdriver. I haven't needed it yet. It's a loud one. It's a loud one. Would you start? Damn it. In terms of, yeah, forgot. It has its drawbacks. Number one, it's difficult to take out that processor. It's expensive. That's another drawback. That pump is normally like a couple of $100. These fittings, all these black fittings that you're seeing in here, each one of these connections are usually about 10 bucks a piece, 10 to 11 bucks depending on what brand they are. And this computer has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It has $150 just in fittings just to run the tubing. So it's a pain in the ass. And if it leaks catastrophically, you are going to fry the system. There's just no way around that. But I also do some other custom stuff, like you can see how this GPU is actually mounted this way instead of how it's normally supposed to sit, which is sideways. But a good average price for an Intel system, you're probably going to spend in the neighborhood of about 750 to 900 bucks for just a good get in and go system. If you want a good Intel system, you could probably take a couple $100 off that. And that is too bright, so I'll put this back. But yeah, I use overkill parts in my systems too. Like these power supplies I'm using, these are 1,000-watt power supplies. You don't need a 1,000-watt power supply. Nobody needs a 1,000-watt power supply. But when you're a nerd, you have to have a 1,000-watt power supply. Plus, I got these for $50 a piece. They're normally 300 plus. No, I don't have a degree. I did not go to college. I started online schooling and I stopped. I got into the car business when I was young, and rather than spending tens of thousands of dollars a year to go to school, I was making six figures within a year. So it was like, didn't really need to, and I did that for 17 years. If I was going to go, and I did apply for a couple of different programs, I wanted to go for mathematics and probably some sort of astrophysics, either applied astrophysics or something of that nature. But I also found out you cannot fast track a PhD, which annoyed the hell out of me, which really made me not want to go. Because if I can understand and present the material in a way that is understandable to you as the person that I'm defending my thesis to, and I'm willing to pay you for the degree, you should just let me have the damn degree. Oh, I did for about 10 years. When in my 20s, I had started, I always excelled in any job I had. So I was working at movie theaters back when we actually had movie reels, and I was doing all these jobs, and I would quit after 6 months because I would get advanced to the position of manager, assistant manager, whatever. And I would quit. And I got into the car business, and it kind of actually made me have to think. And it was an interesting time, but to say it didn't go to waste, I spent a lot of years being a used car salesman, and the stigmata of a used car salesman in the early 2000s was not a good one. But during that time, yeah, I was monkeying a little bit with computers. I got really into cars, obviously. I started my own body shop in that time. I was the finance manager, sales manager, advertising manager, and the head mechanic at a little independent used dealership because they were going to go out of business if I didn't just do everything. So I did a little bit of everything, and I did my body shop for a while. Unfortunately, my legs got too bad and I couldn't keep working, so I had to stop that. Recovered for about 2 years. I got out of the car business from 2010 to almost 2012, and I worked for Home Depot, but they weren't paying me nearly enough to stay. So I went back into the car business, did really well, and in 2017 I literally had to walk away from the business, crawl away basically from everything. I became fully disabled in April of 2017 and haven't worked since. And yeah, it drives me nuts. It's a double-edged sword, Michael. Um, some fields, it's good to have an education. Some fields, you can have a street education. If you want to have that acknowledgement of having the degree, it does allow more doors to be open to you right away. In the car business, you could be any jamoke off the street and come in as long as you can prove you knew how to do it. Car sales required thinking and a little bit of psychological evaluation of the person you're dealing with, but you could get away with it without having degrees. But there are a lot of fields that prefer you to have a degree. So based on what you want to do, you know, you can't work for NASA without a degree. And honestly, most car salesmen don't make six figures. You have to be a certain kind of person to make six figures, because I worked with a lot of people that never made more than minimum wage. About 70% of car salesmen don't make enough money to pay back their draw. For those of you that don't know, a draw is an amount of money they give you at the beginning of the month, or that you have to work towards. Once you make that money in sales, you get whatever's over that. Most of the guys I worked with never made that money back. Oh, I never let it get me down. I never let it get me down. It did in 2017, which is when I realized what I needed to do was to walk away from working. But yeah, I don't let it get me down anymore. So, in terms of keeping myself busy, I could spend an entire day just overclocking, literally just restarting this computer over and over until I get the maximum performance out of it, and treating it like working on a car. And once this whole lockdown stuff is done, I intend to start doing some more car videos, which I used to do on the channel, and I'll get back into that. Funny enough, the number one video on this channel, which has almost 157,000 views, was of me changing a headlight bulb with the wrong tools because I was pissed that I didn't have the right tools. And it was my number one video. How funny is that? Although the commenters that don't actually watch the video always make me laugh. Well, just go into the fender. Oh, you mean where this big water bottle is that I just showed you? Yeah, just go through that. I'll just, you know, vision my hand right through it. Oh, wait, no, I'm not the vision. That and VR has been keeping me very busy lately. I love VR. I play a ton of hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades. It's difficult for me to say that, but I play a ton of that. It's great because they have a version of Hickok 45's range. Everything in life happens for a reason and has a purpose. I agree. Everything that is going to happen will happen, and we have to figure out why. You know, it's one of those things. Yeah, it sucks, and figuring out what I can do to be productive has taken me a long time, but I help out a lot of my friends. I do what I can to help out my friends. That's the important thing. Although, ironically, because I don't make the money I used to, I make way fewer videos than I used to. I used to do 2 videos a day when I started doing this crap. Back in 2016, I would do a car video while at work. I would actually go out on my lunch break, film a car video, and edit it on my Note 4, because I paid like $6 for a program. And then at night, I would run to like thrift stores and video game stores, and I would find all these deals, and I would film a pickup video almost every day as well. And I was buying tons of stuff off of eBay. Again, when you have disposable income, you can do that kind of stuff. But now I live off of basically 1% of what I used to make, which is difficult. Means I have to be creative. All right, another one down. What is that? 4? That's 4. I'm halfway there. 4? No, only got 2 more left. Yay! 80 minutes. 80 minutes. Come out, you. This one I haven't even tried yet. This is a 960. Yeah, a 960. I got it for nothing. Four people. Hell, 3 more and I'll beat my record from last time. The problem with that statement is you'd be surprised how many people start digging sideways. I've known quite a few people that they're like, oh, I'm already down here, might as well just see what's that way. And then all the stuff on top of them collapses on top of them, and then, you know. But yes, I agree. I'd gotten to the point where I couldn't get any lower, and that's when I decided to just do what I did with it. Oh, hell no, I didn't bank a dime. And that's my problem. I thought I was invincible and I would have money forever. So I did stupid stuff like buy a $35,000 car and then get injured 3 days after I bought it and get my foot cut off 2 months after I bought a manual transmission car and then have to keep it for years. And then take a loss on it when I traded it in for my new truck. And then, you know, no. No, when you're in the car business, you make money, you don't save it. Hello. Honestly, though, the big thing is I never was healthy enough to work an entire year. So all my savings would get used up during, I only worked on average 8 months a year, and the rest of the time I was in the hospital. So I would work for 3 or 4 months, go into the hospital for a few weeks, work for a few weeks, go into the hospital for a couple of weeks, go into the hospital again, get something cut off, have my appendix burst on my birthday, or almost burst, do all this stuff. So every time I tried to get a whole year of workout, it never happened. So I would make 50, 60 grand in 5 months, and then I would be hospitalized for 2 weeks, and then I would be out of work for 2 months, and then I go back to work for 3 months, get hospitalized. So it was a vicious cycle. So no, I was never able to bank it. It took the coronavirus to stop me from going back to work. A guy I used to work for back in the day offered me a almost 6-figure sum to come back and work for him as just an internet sales manager. So, and I almost said yes. Because the thought of having money again was like way up there. Come on, drivers. Install. Install. Because I don't know where you are. Okay, not there. NVG. Okay, you're not there. These are the 2 drives I used when I installed you. Where are you? Where are you? Not there. Ship it. Yeah, I know you don't like it. Yeah. Son of a bitch. How do you not... Oh, had this drive in a laptop. Has playing an instrument ever interest you? Yes. When I was younger, I played piano, and I wanted to play guitar, but unfortunately, don't know if you can see it or not. Get it in the right. There you go. I was not a smart youngin, and I destroyed my hand. Yeah, I have what is commonly called the boxer's break in this hand, and I extended it into this bone, and it never set right, and yeah. So that killed my ability to do anything back in the day, and as I've gotten older and part of my disability, I have a nerve disorder that causes intense pain, so my hands get very, 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 very painful. This hand is always numb and tingly. It's been asleep most of this whole time because I'm sitting straight up, but if I were to sit back, lean back, and look to the right, my whole left side would just start spasming. So, but yes, I did play piano. My father, since his retirement, has started building guitars, and I'm going to help him do a channel because he's taught himself to play, and he builds a lot of Fender stuff. He likes Fender, so once he's ready to start filming on that, I'm going to help him on that. Oh, he also likes cruises, so he's going to do videos on that too, as soon as he can start going on them again. Wrong button. Come on. It's not going to install on here, and I'm not taking you out again. So let's go ahead and say that the card works provisionally. Unscrew you. This is a 970. It's a pretty one, isn't it? It's green. What is it? It is green. I did not get around to overclocking the non-K3770 because I don't have one. I did overclock a 2400, but the results were very underwhelming, and the only 3000 series chip I have right now is a 3570K, so I have not been able to do that. So if one pops up, I will definitely do it because I have a great motherboard for it. I have a Z77 Extreme 4, but until I get a processor, I can't do it. Yeah, I don't know much about instruments, but that's why my dad builds them. He custom builds them. It's all custom hardware. He likes the Fender look, I guess. But he does custom painting, custom sanding. He does everything custom on the guitars. Assembles them, tunes them, tests them. He's got a couple of really nice ones. He's waiting to get his rooms all set up for filming, and when he's done, I'm going to help him. I'm going to let him use my camera that I normally use for my regular videos, and then he's got a Hero Black 8 that we're going to use for some stuff. But he wants to do a couple of builds. And nothing wrong with being middle class, man. I'm low middle class. Actually, I'm no class. I'm more like Jack Reacher. I don't have anybody to report to. Nobody controls me, and I can do whatever I want. Hello. All right. Number 5. Lights up. That's a good thing. Yeah. It's very difficult to find, and if you find a local shipper, it's just as bad, and there's no guarantee the condition is going to be any good. I've bought through a couple of proxies before, and yeah, shipping is insane. The only reason I have this one is because I found it online, and I got a steal. The guy had no clue what it was, so he was done. He's like, "Oh, it's old DDR3, and come get it." And I got it for $30. So oh yeah, I just got to figure out how to rob a bank and not be noticeable. That's a joke for anybody listening. I would never rob a bank. No, what I do is I basically rely on, my wits and my ability to find deals and negotiate. That's a big thing. Now, I don't ever take advantage of somebody. I prefer to let them take advantage of themselves. It's why I was successful as a car dealer. That's a big tip, especially if you're a seller or a buyer, even, is you shut up. As the seller, I shut up. That was always the biggest problem that most of these kids had. I'd have these 18-year-old kids thinking, "Oh, I've seen that I can make $150,000 a year just by selling cars." No, because you talk too much. Yeah, don't educate them either, Michael. If somebody doesn't know what he has, don't tell them. It's amazing what's applicable in this junk finding world as it is with the car world. Keep it simple, stupid. It's an acronym we used called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. When it comes to negotiation, if I'm trying to sell you this Roku and I know I own it for $12 and I told you $25 and you told me $17, I'm still not going to say anything. I'm going to wait for you to crack. And that's the way it goes when I'm negotiating to buy it. I bought a bag of these Rokus. They're still relevant. These are HD models. I think they're HDs. Maybe. I don't know. But I got these for like $5 a piece. And I sold a bunch of them and made like 6 times my money. And I still have two. Computers suck. Wait, did I say that out loud? Computers are awesome. NVIDIA, sponsor me. The most boringest video on the internet. Yeah, there's just so many rules I have to follow. I'm not allowed to show so many things. It sucks. I could be making this a much more interesting stream. Oh, CPU. Okay, good. I thought this just said my GPU was jumping to 3 gigahertz. That would kill it. Start with you, Connor. What do I think of the whole pandemic stuff? I think it sucks. It's annoying. Unfortunately, it is proving to be a really, really big pain in the ass because I'm stuck in between two of the biggest areas in Virginia. So I'm forced to stay at home a lot. And hopefully it will get resolved, or at least in a way that we can get back to doing what we need to do. I don't buy into theories of it being a attack. I don't buy into theories that it's man-made. I just think it's human hubris that we've kind of brought upon ourselves. We've done a lot of things to a lot of things, and it's biting us in the ass. As to the 660 Ti, yes, they are good cards. The first one I tested today was a 660 Ti. Still a relevant card. I traded a buddy. I traded him a graphics card. I gave him an RX 580. He gave me cash in that. You'd be surprised how many people think stuff is junk. It was the same way with that 980 Ti that's in there. Guy didn't think it worked right, and I got a good deal on it. I'm working on an awesome deal, and if it comes through, it'll be amazing. I'm trying to ingratiate myself to a guy that has access to flight simulators, and they're upgrading from 1080 Ti's to 2080 Ti's. And he says there's 300 of them. It's a hard thing to argue either for or against. I don't like getting political. I don't like forcing my opinion on other people. It doesn't make as much sense though, because no good is coming of this for anybody. Nobody is benefiting from this in any kind of way that would make it worth what's going on. Another wave is definitely coming. It's already been proven. There's places where people are ignoring the stay-at-home orders, and they're going out to family meetings and greetings and weddings and all this crap, and they're getting sick. So I believe it's a real disease. I'm not going to get into the political side of it. I do believe it's something real. It's a dangerous area to put my real opinion out there. So I'll let you guys keep giving your opinions. And I will never say your opinion's wrong unless you tell me that it's Nazi Hitler from space. Because I'm pretty sure if he was in space, he wouldn't be able to do it. Do I ever use a AMD? And thank you for agreeing with that. I do agree. I'm not a partisan person. I just believe we as a people need to come together and run the country the right way. Do I ever use an AMD card for my main GPU? I have. I'm not currently, just because I had a really good deal on some parts and I sold what I was using. I do have an RX 580 that I'm thinking about using in my VR rig, but I can find better deals on Intel stuff. I had a 5700 XT in there, but I sold the 5700 XT for more than I paid for it. I kept the water block off of it, and I got a GTX 1080 Ti. So, yeah, it's just AMD has to come out with something that really impresses me before I'll switch over. But it has nothing to do with brand loyalty. It's just nothing they built was fast enough for the right price. Combined test. Let's see how many times I stabbed my hand. I wouldn't feel it even if I did. Like, I wake up with cuts all over myself. I have no idea what I'm doing. I think most of these were from when I built the VR rig. I used to be able to do the coin flip thing too, but nope, not anymore. $100 minutes. Yeah, I agree. Some of their drivers have issues, and it's one of those things you're going to run into. It's the problem with a manufacturer, especially AMD, who more closely controls their GPUs and their dies and their boards. They have a stricter restriction on what they're allowing the board partners to do to their cards and their GPUs, and they want to make it so that it fits more people's systems. But by doing that, you nerf stuff. Like the drivers don't work as well because they're trying to make it so that it'll work on an old like i5 6600K or something. When they're hearing from people, oh, we want the newest card to work on a i9 9900K or a Threadripper system, which are two totally different things. For example, that 580 that I have will not work on this motherboard, even though it has only PCIe Gen 2. That's why it won't work on this motherboard. So I sold it to a guy who had one about this age, and he's like, oh, it doesn't work, so I had to buy it back. So they're trying to appeal to the most people at one time, which nerfs performance. I want them to come out with something that's super dedicated just to gaming, just for high-end hardware. And I know that's rude to say, but I want a flagship card from them like a 2080 Ti or RTX Titan or a Quadro even for the workstation space. If they could do something like that, then it would probably still be less than the Intel or the NVIDIA side, and it would be worth it. All right, 5 out of 6. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 5. Yes. And I don't need to test this one. This is just a 980 that I did the fan mod to, just in case you didn't see it earlier. But yeah, this works great. Runs at like 45 degrees, and it's just zip ties and case fans. Just for my latecomers. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm satisfied. How do I... It's really funny what I've been doing, because I can only be in a seated position or walking around for about an hour to 2 hours before I really start to get into bad pain, because my legs, the nerves are so screwed up that in a bent position it cuts off my nerves. It's not a blood flow issue, it's a nerve issue. And it's just the signal can't get from my legs up to tell me to move them, so I could be compromised in my position or things like that. So I've been spending a lot of time in my chair. I have a Lazy Boy, aptly named, with the VR headset on in a program called Big Screen, because Big Screen is like going to the movie theaters. And I'll put on a movie or something, or I'll watch just like YouTube videos on an 80-inch screen, and it kicks ass. Yes, I thought the exact same thing. It's one of the cards I've been burned on. The reason why it's got this air cooler on it is because the fan turbo controller for this card was broken. So this thing comes up on Facebook. Actually, the guy offered it to me on trade, partial trade for my 1080 Ti, which I didn't wind up doing because he was all picky. Oh, my friend says it needs this, and then he sells me a card that doesn't work right because the fan turbo button, which normally goes in there, didn't work right. It would, he had broken the piece inside that allows it to stay at a certain resistor rating, and it burned out the board that it was on. So there was no way I could manually do it. I'm actually looking for the pinout for the fan control hub here. If I can find that, then I can lock it into a lower fan speed that's still adjustable, because these either ran at full speed or not at all. And it pissed me off because I sold a perfectly good working 980 to get this thing. And it didn't even have the box. But yeah, I'll keep it in the collection. I'll put that fan back on once I find the pinout and rewire it. And in terms of relaxing my mental capacity, I don't sleep much. I'm always thinking of something. I'll watch 2 hours of YouTube while laying down on my side. I watch a lot of game theorists and Shoddycast, because they do a lot of scientific research. And yeah, it really annoys the hell out of me, because then I stay up all night. Oh, you saw that video? Cool. Yeah, it pissed me off because, yeah, I don't like getting burned. And I let him burn me twice because I went and met the guy the first time. He didn't have the box. He only had the insert. I have the box. No, he had the insert. He thought it was just a sleeve. No, it's a box. So I walked away from it, and then he took $25 off. Sleeve is for weak. Oh, why'd you take it back? I agree. No, I don't have a a very very good sleep cycle because I will wake up probably at 6:30. I'll get 3 to 5 hours of sleep, and that's enough for me. Ah, got it. Sleep is for the weak. Yeah, well, sometimes I get sleepy. I stay awake until I pass out, and then I wake up when I wake up. Yeah, so the main thing I wanted to get accomplished, I got accomplished. So yeah, so at least that's done. I'm working on a couple of things, so the next live stream will probably be another build. I can't do firearm disassembly and tutorials in a live stream. They get really picky about that. So yeah, you're going into what's called micro sleep. You're getting just enough sleep to allow your brain to wind down enough to not be mentally drained the next day. But I've seen people that have that problem. Mine is the pain issue. I I'm always literally always in pain. It's not a figurative thing. Yeah, let's just say that it's the number one reason why I'm disabled, and it keeps me up until I pass out. So that was a bummer to try to close out on, because like I said, I think I'm done with all the computer stuff tonight. I'll think of some subject matter. Maybe we'll talk about some gun news next time, and I'll build a whole computer while we're doing that. That seemed to actually be more involving with the folks. So if you want to see that, let me know. Four watchers. Somebody came in now at 107 minutes. You came in at the tail end, buddy. 107 minutes. It's a smart move. I really didn't go too much into it because I haven't really been playing too many games other than Forza Horizon 4, which I only play for the rare cars. I'm building up a collection of all the rare cars. Grand Theft Auto 5, I'll play that when I just want to have a fun time. My game is modded, so I can't play it online. But yeah, it is a good move because all the add-ons is where you make all your money. That's why you can get Fortnite for free. But if you want anything in the game, you got to start spending money. Plus, Grand Theft Auto has been out what since 2013, something like that. At least on PC. Why would Epic be doing that though? It crashed their servers though. Uh, Holy crap! They gave away all the DLCs too. I mean, I have them all, but holy crap! Yeah, they definitely want people to start buying all the add-on like the Tiger Cash or whatever Shark Money. Oh man, I don't even try. I don't even try for 100%. I'm not a completist. Let me see what if it'll tell me how far I got. You're ahead of me. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not going to boot up the game, but I've only gotten to 79 or 80%. Mainly because once I'm done with the final mission, I don't even bother. I'll start a new game. I don't care as much. If I do the side missions during the game, once I get done with the game, I don't go back to that particular playthrough. Let's see, what are they doing? Yeah, that's pretty cool. But like I said, my game is modified, so I can't play GTA Online on this computer. If I want to put it on another hard drive, and run it on a local machine, you know, one that isn't that one, because the GTA script mod is installed on the exe file on the computer you're using. So if I put it on this computer, I can play it online and it won't affect it. But then I would lose everything else that's modified about my game. 24.2.4. We're almost at 2,500, by the way, guys. That was awesome. I saw that. A lot of people signed up in the last couple of days, which, frick yeah, kicks ass. Let me actually see where we at. Only need 7 more people. So that'll be cool. If you're not signed up, sign up. Sub, damn it. Even if you never come back, just sub. Let me see one thing here. This is my CPU box. Oh, and laptop RAM. So that's a laptop. That's a Phenom. Pentiums. Q6600. You know what I should do is I should probably make a video on how to overclock an i3, because I think that would probably actually have the most impact on here. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. That's an i3 right there. That's a 3225. I've never even heard of this CPU. But I'll do one of those for you, Michael. That way you can see. We'll just set that down right now, actually. So what's up? Any other questions and any car models? Yes. Not just Legos. I used to build actual models back in the day. I always had a big problem with painting them first, though. I used to like to assemble them and then try to paint them. Never went well. They were always one color. Yeah, yeah. They're basically the new i3s are as good probably as a 6700K when you put a little bit of juice to them, and that's pretty sad. But that does mean that people like me who like goofing with this older hardware should still be able to get some good deals on some boards and chips. Because I sold a 7700K, which is still only 4-core 8 thread. I sold one of those for like $300 or something like that, and it's not worth that. My last 9900 was a $500 chip, so for $300 you can get a entry level Threadripper and just destroy any of this old stuff. I think I never really did much with the Legos because when I was a kid, that's when we were moving around the most, and I just never really was able to keep toys like that long enough because it costs money to ship all your belongings to Germany or across the country, and I wound up getting rid of a lot of that stuff. I do have a video on here though where I built the Lego Knight Rider car. You too, Connor. It was awesome talking to you. Yeah, like I said, since I'm done doing these, I'm probably going to be ending the stream here in just a minute. But it was good to see you come in and chat the hell out of the what words, chat up the chat thing. I'm done with words. You can see what happens when I run out of juice. But no, it was fun talking to you. So yeah, Devil's Canyon. The 4790K, I want to get my hands on those. I want to get my hands on a couple of X79 boards, a couple of X58 boards. I had a really good X58, but it finally died. So. Yeah, I think that's about it for today. Michael, Connor, thank you guys for coming in. Polaris 425, thanks for coming in at the end. Awesome. Nice to meet new people. Trying to do maybe 1 or 2 a week just because I'm up and I can talk to you. So if you come back for that, that'd be awesome. So which one gave up the ghost? My brain? My brain gave up the ghost. Yep. Awesome, dude. So all right. Yeah, like I said, that's about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream and get out of here, and I'll post up before I put up the next live stream, and you'll have some videos coming out in the beginning of the week. So till then, talk to you later. Oh, he didn't hit it. There we go. Come on.